What's going on, YouTube? Back at you with another video. Hey, just getting done with the doctors at the doctor's office. And it's 2025. This is the most weight that I've gained in years, as far as over a period of time. Like, this is the heaviest I've been. And it's just time to do something about it. I used to be more active, more weight training, running, treadmill, cardio. And then I know over the years, start getting older, and I believe everybody goes through this, unless your genetics kind of sometimes is based on your weight, your height, and what you could possibly be is based on your genetics. Majority of the time, based on your genetics. So you had smaller people, genetics. In my family, we could get big. Let's just put it like that. We could get big. I didn't see fluctuations of my brothers. I used to always be the skinny brother. I used to never like being really skinny. I was always comfortable with my weight. And, you're at that ideal weight in your mid-20s and your 30s. So somebody that's 6 foot should be weighing about 220, at least 220, I think is what it is. From what that is 220. That's what I should be weighing, 220. And that's 220 like that. I believe that's lean. That's going to be lean, athletic type of shape for a 6 foot person. So, not saying I shouldn't be there, but at the same time, there's a lot of variables that play a part. Your eating habits, eating on the go, eating fast food, eating at restaurants. When you tend to so-called say you eat well, you really don't eat well. You could go to restaurants. Now, restaurants will serve, you can still eat well, but you have to worry about or be aware of your portion control, what you're actually eating, the carbs that you're taking in, and things like that. Especially as you start gradually getting older, you're losing muscle mass, you're getting weaker, you're gaining more fat, usually in stockier, bigger people. That's kind of what happens to you. You could be stocky at one point, then you can start gaining weight and things like that. And it's a challenge. I can say it's a challenge. So I fluctuate my weight during the summertime, and over the years, the past 10 years, I would fluctuate my weight from 280 to 290, 278, 275, then get back up to 280, 285. And then when I go on vacation, I might hit 290. I've hit 300 before, after vacation. And then I'll go back down, I would gain weight in the winter time, and then once the season starts up, I'll start, gradually taking off a few pounds and stuff. Eventually it's going to catch up with you, especially, my sleep habits are not the best because, I'm up constantly, as far as working. So me working at every Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, 12-hour shifts, when I'm at work, I am like programmed. I'm actually programmed. It seems like I'm programmed to eat breakfast, and then I'll eat my lunch around 12 or 1 o'clock. I'll eat lunch. And then after that, I might snack or get something to eat. Now, I need to do more healthier snacks between that 3 to 5. Because once 3:30 hits, 4:30, the cafeteria opens back up. And I tend to eat me something before I go home, just so that I'm not eating a lot for dinner. Do I eat a lot for dinner? I probably do, but I found out that I don't eat a lot in one sitting. I kind of eat more here, there, things like that. And when I'm actually doing lawn care and things like that, I'm not eating the best foods. I'm stopping in Quick Trip. I'm grabbing some soda. I got a lot of Gatorade and water. I'm drinking on that. But when I go to Quick Trip, I end up, even though I have water and Gatorade, I still end up treating myself with a soda, with my slice of pizza or my pork taco or my brisket taco or my chicken taco that they have there. Probably I munch on there. I did that with my son. We would get 2 hot dogs. 2 hot dogs. He'll probably get some chips. And I'll get like 2 hot dogs and something to drink, or I'll just drink a Gatorade or whatever, or my drink. But usually I grab a pop or something like that. So I think due to some of the bad habits, I've gained more weight, and I haven't even been on vacation. You know what I mean? Usually that's when I end up at the end of the season. I'll take a vacation and then I'll gain weight, by, going to an all-exclusive or something like that. But now I find myself, like I said, I used to be able to go to buffets and eat. I don't really do that anymore. And if I do go, I'm not eating a lot. It's not even worth going to a buffet in a sense. I just go there and I can't eat that much anymore. It might not look like it, but I just don't. I'm not a guy that goes to the buffet and just be throwing down food. I look at some of the young guys and stuff like that. When we went to go to, let's say, Olive Garden, my daughter had her boyfriend with her, and I was that age at once. And man, he's, when I tell my wife, why are we getting the endless pasta when I'm not going to eat no more than one bowl or no more than one serving. That first serving that they bring out, that's plenty. And then you want to try another pasta, man, now it's getting excessive, So I try not to even do those endless bowls and endless pasta and all that stuff. Pasta, salad. Pasta is a lot of carbs and starch and calories alone by itself, and you're gonna feel full with that. So all in all, going to the doctor is a wake-up call. And I usually don't feel at ease until the season dies down. Like, going to a doctor's appointment is kind of it throws a monkey wrench in my day. Like right now, I planned on going to do this leaf cleanup, get it started. I'll be out of here and be at the place at 10 o'clock or 9:30. I'm not going to get there to about probably 10. I don't know what time it is. But at the same time, when the season slows down, because remember, I'm working every Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 12-hour shifts. And then during the summertime, I'm working Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. That's 7 days a week. And I run this all the way up to like now. It's November the 18th or something like that. I slow down, but this is the time that I can kind of take care of myself now. Do I always do everything that I'm supposed to do within these next 3 to 4 months? I don't. I should be working out heavy. I should be doing some cardio. I should be walking on a treadmill. I should be doing some strength training. And that's what I'm going to have to start getting back into, because as you're getting older, you're losing muscle mass. And the best way to stay healthy is strength training. That prolongs your health. That's what was told to me. And it helps to cut back on or cut down on injuries. So I don't have to lift heavy weights like I used to. I can just lift moderate weights as far as strength training. I'm not trying to compete. I'm not a pro athlete. I'm not none of that. So why am I going to try to push the limit and lift heavy weights, or try to compete with my son or other younger guys? That I've done that. I'm more prone to injuries lifting heavy weight than the strength training. So if I try to compete with a young lion, I'm going to lose. I'm going to either injure myself, or I'm not going to be able to usually win. The average guy out here day to day is not winning usually with a kid that's working out, football team, lifting weights, they're conditioned. You're not going to win usually. There's exceptions if you're staying busy and you're staying active and training. Yeah, there's some guys that could compete with the younger guys, but majority of the time, nah. Reality is they're in their prime and you're not. I was in my prime at once. I'm not anymore. I accept that. I'm like a old lion. I'm roaming around, but if a new lion is trying to come in and take my pride, most likely I might lose. That's just the way it is. I might lose if I'm not lucky. That goes with nature, with everything, You can think that you're gonna win as you're getting older, but majority of the time, life catches up with you, and it'll humble you as far as you're not as quick anymore, you're not as strong anymore. And that's okay. That's what comes. That's how life works. But we still got to take care of ourselves. And coming to the doctor and getting older and realizing, hey, you're gaining more weight. You got to start trying to eat less, eat right. Everybody goes through this stage. I done seen a lot of people go through this stage where they get humbled and hit with the reality that you have to take care of yourself better. And I'm not going to lie, I've neglected myself, trying to work a lot, trying to earn money, I'm chasing, the day by day, trying to earn money, trying to work all these days. And I don't slow down until October, November. I don't slow down till then. And then I still try to work throughout the winter time and keep myself busy. But at the same time, I should be focused on more taking care of myself, dropping weight, eating better, not eating out, taking my lunch, things like that. So I got to do better, just like everything else. I got to do better. It's a reality check. It's not like I go to the doctor and, everything's out of whack. It's just that I have to take care of myself a little bit better as I'm getting older. I'm not young anymore. I'm going to be 49 in December. I'm halfway in the ground, baby. You don't have that many summers left, Landaris. You don't have that many summers left. So, got to take care of yourself. And it's just a reality check. I got to take care of myself a little bit better. I'm not the same person ripping and running around here. You know what? I started noticing this with a yard that I used to do that was that had hills. And I used to take that yard on because it was a challenge as the years progressed. It was a challenge that I was, working my legs out more. I would have to sit down a little bit and kind of take a break when the sun's beating down on me. I knew that this yard was becoming a challenge just by push mowing it. But I took on the challenge because I say, this is almost like a morning workout. And then once I was done with it, I'm like, I'm glad I'm done with that yard. All right, let's get to the other yards. So I could tell year after year after year, I'm like thinking to myself, this yard is getting more difficult. It's the same yard. I'm doing the same thing, but these hills are a little bit harder to do now. And push mowing this when the self-propel goes out is torturous. It's crazy. But I used to be able to handle this yard without ease, without even thinking about it. Hey, let's knock it out. Now it's kind of like, oh God, I got to do this yard. Yeah, because it became a little bit harder. So as I'm aging, it's not the same. Everybody's going to have to go through this. You're going to have to get prostate checks. You're going to have to start getting colonoscopies. You're going to have to start getting, your thyroid check. Make sure your blood pressure is good. Make sure you're eating. All these things are going to come into play when you didn't have to worry about this when you were young. Now, you got to take care of yourself. All in all, this video is to the guys that's my age, that's still putting in a lot of work and kind of neglecting themselves until the season ends, or, not eating right, not exercising enough. I have to come to grips that I need to do more for myself instead of just trying to worry about chasing the money and making as much money as possible. Like every year comes to like where it's not as important than your health, because your health is always going to be your wealth. Remember that. Your health is always going to be your wealth. You don't know how long you got on this earth. We're just passing through. And you got to be there long enough to see memories and stuff with your children and your grandchildren, seeing your daughter get married, seeing your son get married, finding love, having kids. You want to be able to prolong your life as long as possible in order to see those memories and be part of those memories. So, just like I have to do better, there's somebody out there too that needs to do better with their health and taking care of themselves instead of chasing the money. When you're young, you can chase the money because you ain't having issues or your body. In reality, like they say, not to be a Debbie Downer, but you're dying. You're a baby, you grow, somebody takes care of you. You in your 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s. Then it starts gradually, stuff start happening. Your body starts breaking down. In reality, you are dying. You're dying. It's like a slow death. You're dying year after year after year. That's the whole reality of it. And I hate to put it that way, but in a sense, that's the way it is. Once you get to a certain age, you're dying off. You're getting older. You're getting weaker. Your organs are breaking down. You're not going to live forever. And if you're lucky, you could hit 100. That's if you're lucky. Everything has to do with luck, but you got to be able to take care of yourself. And that's the whole point of this video. I got to do better. And I know there's somebody out there watching that has to do better with taking care of their health, because their health is going to be your wealth in the end. That's what we should be striving for. Your health is going to be your wealth towards the end. All right, guys. I'll see you on the next video. I hope this video is a wake-up call for a lot of people, including myself. All right, guys. I'll see you on the next video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I might have another tip. Something else might be going on. All right, guys.